بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب.
I beg your pardon.
It's time to break my fast. Coffee and a kiss from my husband. Between my Maghrib and Isha prayer.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Assalamu alaikum. I see you guys are enjoying my content, but you are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing and don't forget to like this video. Jazakallah khair. Now, with the liberal imposition on the entire globe, we come to see, an increase in people, including Muslims, accept or even engage in this filth of same-sex marriage and open homosexuality and those kind of things. I'm still of the position that Islam has not yet bended the knee towards this LGBTQ agenda, as in so much so that there is no real mainstream Muslim body that has accepted this wholeheartedly, right? Perhaps to the extent that, let's say, Christians and Jews have. For instance, the Church of England has recently okayed the blessing of same-sex marriage, or the Pope goes on to say that homosexuality is a sin but not a crime. And then on the Jewish end, I've even seen queer rabbis, which has been, accepted by authoritative Jewish organizations and synagogues in America. So now I'm not saying that we don't find any liberal Muslims or Muslims that have been, engulfed by the far left or woke agenda. But in essence, Muslims reject wholeheartedly this LGBTQ plus framework. Muslims who do adopt it, I think, would have to kind of like branch off or completely form a new type of organization, which I think they have, which again, majority of Muslims wouldn't even consider as anything worthy of recognizing or recognition. So there is this clear distinction between these types of liberal secular Muslims, let's say, and let's say mainstream orthodox conservative Muslims. Nevertheless, I think these videos, these clips on TikTok and wherever else on social media are a danger to our youth, and it's really up to us as parents, adults and elderly, to approach this modern liberal systems head on by finding the Islamic alternatives within our community. And I think it should start with curbing our social media interactions and education, of course.
Disgusting!
Just like Christian communities in the Bible Belt can say ridiculous things. You're going to hell, Shut up. Be quiet, redneck. Donald Trump and these guys. Be quiet. And they're allowed to do that anyhow. I got a gun here, and they're walking around with guns and threatening behavior, and they're okay. But us Muslims, we have to be victimized, otherwise abjected for homosexuals to no. But we believe firmly, wholeheartedly, definitely, blatantly, obviously, willingly, that homosexuality, if done in practice, is sinful, and we will never back down.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Have you ever met a gay person before? That person is never going to see paradise, right?
No, that's not true. I know two Muslims that are gay, personally. One of them I met, I didn't know that he was a gay person. I worked with him for many years. He would remind me to pray. He would say, brother, this time for Salah, make sure you pray.
He would go to Muslim,
and then I met the person. I never usually go to the staff Christmas parties or whatever. I just attend, just show my face. And I saw him there, leather jeans, vest, I thought, what's this? I've never seen this before. So he said, okay, I'll talk to you later. I said, no problem. We met after, and he told me, look, I have these homosexual feelings, and I can't control them, and sometimes I act on them. I said, okay, so how do you reconcile that with your religion? And he says, this is not something that I do in public, I don't affect other people, and whenever I fall into it, I ask Allah to forgive me. Now that person, as I feel asking Allah to forgive him, he's being sincere and he's doing his best, none of us can say he will not go to paradise.
Islam forbids homosexuality as a practice, not as a feeling, because no one is. You can say someone is not in control of how they feel in some cases, and we accept that. So if someone feels in a certain way, then it's forbidden to act upon it. Now, Islam forbids this. It doesn't mean that if someone practices it, by the way, they become an ex-Muslim or that they leave Islam or they excommunicate. They're still within the fold. It's just seen as a major sin.
When you say major sin, are there a number
of...
It's a
hierarchy of sins.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So where would that rank?
High, very high. Like Ibn al-Qayyim, one of the scholars of Islam, he says up there with murder. It's up there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very...
But what about a man cheating on his wife or vice versa? That's a major sin as well.
Yeah. So if a man cheats on his wife, it's a major sin. Like on the same level.
Is that on the same level?
Yeah, 100%. Both.
There are things that in Islam that many people will not consider. Like, for example, usury, like interest, getting a loan from the bank.
Yes.
Things like that are seen as major sins on that kind of level as well.
Certainly this makes sense. Like, for instance, if someone has a particular urge, tendency, feeling towards a a thing that is considered bad or negative in the sight of Allah, and he refrains from, following up with a certain action towards that negative or bad thing, then of course he will be rewarded for that, right? A good example is also with the, let's say, a straight Muslim male who is exposed perhaps to, which I think is prevalent in the West, is provocative dress of females, of women, right? And social media where they expose themselves and have these provocative photos and stuff like that, and and he does his utmost best to refrain from even having a glimpse of it because it is difficult. um, then surely this man must be rewarded for that. Likewise, a woman who also tries to refrain from interacting with men and being conservative with regards to the opposite sex. So yes, in terms of the homosexual thing, then people who has this tendency, who don't act upon it, should be rewarded for this.
Inshallah.
And on that note, guys, Jazakallah khair for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, and if it is that you enjoy my content, definitely subscribe. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.